Hello everybody and welcome to another cello lesson. In today's lesson we're gonna cover Studies of the Young Cellist by Feuillard, obviously, but we're gonna do the number 19 today, which is a study for the left hand, but with first and fourth positions. So that means position changes or shiftings or whatever you want to name it. This is a wonderful exercise indeed for the position changes, but also for finger extensions and for a beautiful sound. Anyway, you're gonna enjoy this exercise when you're gonna practice and play it. It's actually even kind of beautiful. So anyways, I'm gonna play it through so you can enjoy, hopefully, and then we're gonna dive right into the things that we need to pay attention. Before we continue with this video, of course, I would like to ask you kindly that you subscribe on my channel and hit the notification bell, so that you will not lose anything of my lessons, of my tutorials, of my concerts. Well, even though there are no concerts, but anyway, there are gonna be video recordings. By the way, talking about video recordings, this Sunday, 2nd of May, my birthday, which I'm gonna turn 31 already. Anyway, doesn't matter. Bach Cello Suite number 5 Prelude is gonna come out on my YouTube channel. So for those that are new on my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss it. For those that are already subscribed, well, you guys are gonna see it. Anyways, with that said, let's go into it. Oh, that was quite some exercise, right? I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this melodically wise, you know, it's quite lyrical and, well, anyways, doesn't matter. It's still a study, so we need to focus on the technical aspects. Anyway, so first things first. What is the first step here? The first step would be to see what is this exercise about. Well, it's pretty obvious, right? Study for the left hand, first and fourth position. Okay, but there are always, you know, you can always find other details. So for instance, what did I find here? It is like, first of all, without a left hand articulation, you're not going anywhere. So a left hand articulation, what's that? Well, it's very easy. So check it out. I'm gonna play two versions, one with a good articulation and another one without articulation. Or let's say it's better opposite. So first I'm gonna play without articulation and then the other one I'm gonna play as, you know, it would start with articulation. So there we go. Without articulation. Anyway, I'm not going to play further in order to not to damage your ears and well, anyway. So that was without articulation. So no articulation means that it's pretty jelly. So there is no activity in the left hand's fingers, right? No activity at all. So that's why it became muddy, jelly. Anyway, you can, you know, discover your, you can find the word yourself. But the thing is here that you need to hammer your finger. So you need to do it like that. Right, so this is extremely important because when you don't have a left hand articulation, then your intonation is not going to be precise. So articulation is going to give you precision. Check it out. Articulation, right? Now without articulation. See, it's totally out of tune, it's totally without precision. So this is important. By the way, I have a video recorded of that same book of Feuillard, which is focusing especially on left-hand articulation, which is the study number 1. Link in the video description, or it's gonna appear right here. It's this one. So see, I need to hear this when you play or when you practice, right? You need to hear that sound. Be careful not to use force of your arm, so like that. Because that is just going to disturb. No, the force is here, right into the fingers, that part of the hand here, so. This one, so this is a very important aspect here, okay? So here then it comes to the second part of it, which is finger extensions, right? So here we have a couple of finger extensions. So for instance, in the first measure from the exercise already, we start actually with an extension. So an extension is this. See, so an extension is when you have to, you know, take a finger and you need to go quite distant with it. So this is an extension, right? And in almost all the measures here we have finger extensions. One thing that is quite important here for finger extensions is what happens often that the student or the cellist, so when he's doing a finger extension, so pay attention now to my fingers, to my left hand. He's doing this, so he plays the first note, he does the extension, but he's keeping the first finger over there. And that's not the point. You're gonna tire your hand pretty easy. So you need to release when you do the extension. On the moment you did the extension, you release the other finger. So I'm gonna show you. Sometimes it's easier to show than to explain by words. So there it goes. I do the extension now, but my first finger is released. It's relaxed. One more time. See? So I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that. See? I don't want to see this. So one more time. This would be the correct way. So see, on the moment you beat, the finger goes up together. So this is a good thing, you know, to do this exercise pretty slow. So note per note, just so you know. Now we have an extension, so we prepare, but we release the fourth finger, so we don't keep it. We don't do this. See, already I feel tired and it just sounds horrible. So that's why you need to release. So do it note per note, analyze. Where you need to prepare in advance. Here we need to prepare in advance. We play and we release. Here we have another extension, release. Same here, release. Release. Extension, release. So do note per note. I know it's boring to do in the beginning, you know, very, very slowly, but that is very important. Like, I really highly recommend to you guys that you do it really like one note per bow and hear everything and observe everything. In the beginning, it's always like this. You're gonna think about lots of things. But then after a while, when you train and study, it's gonna become natural. You're not going to think about, right? Because, well, this expression exists. It truly exists. Hard work pays off. So work hard in the beginning and then you're gonna feel comfortable. There's no other better sensation, you know, than feeling satisfied, you know, with the result. So in the beginning, focus a lot. Afterwards, you're gonna be like easygoing, right? So this is our finger extension. So do that for the whole exercise, like part per part per part per part. Like, don't play the whole thing through. Just really like focus only on the extensions. Maybe like the first thing what you can do is just, you know, first step, like find the extensions in each measure. Right, so that was the first one. Okay, then we have here this note, here, here, then third measure, this note, here. So try to find the extensions, like find them out where they're hidden. in this exercise, and then you do only them, then after a while, of course, you're gonna get used to it, you know, so your fingers are going to know what to do, because if your fingers don't know how to do, where to go and where to hit, it's gonna get difficult. So do that part per part. It's gonna consume a little bit of your time, but it's gonna be only once, you know, it's gonna be for this exercise, because actually in 99% of cello repertoire, you're gonna have finger extensions, so you're gonna need to do it, you know, sooner or later. So anyway, that was for the left hand extension. So I hope that was clear. Now we're gonna proceed to the next one. So to the third part of the left hand, which are position changes. So that's the principal thing of this exercise. So study for the left hand first and fourth position. So let's find out where are the shiftings here. There it is. What happens often that people are doing this kind of shifting? That is pretty wrong, right? So when you do the shiftings, you need to do it very precise, fast, light and quick. So what do I mean with that? This kind of shifting. So I don't want to hear this. And I don't want to see hesitation. No, go for it. Repeat that 20, 30, maybe 50 times if necessary, because the more you're doing it, the more you're going to do the right way, the more also you're going to memorize the distance, because it's all about finger memory, it's all about muscle memory, distance memory. And okay, in the beginning, of course, you're going to be like looking a lot to your fingerboard, but after a while, when you're memorizing bit by bit, you're not even going to watch anymore. You're not going to watch anymore, it's going to become naturally. So in the beginning, always it's a little bit annoying, but then afterwards it's going to be easier, right? So here in this exercise, what you can do, bar per bar, find out where are the hidden shifts. So in the first measure, we have this one. Right, now we move on to the second bar. So we have this one. But what happens often? People do this. See, this is wrong. No, you need to put your fingers in position. So I'm going to show you again the wrong way, what happens. And pay attention to my pinky in this case. Where is it? It's too far away. And then you cannot do a proper shift. So what you need to do? The moment you play the pinky now, you see, it's pretty close. And you push. Do it on the string. See? One more time. See, that's the right way, not this. No, you need to do it on the string. So pretty close and go. Right, now the third bar. So what happens here? Some people lift their finger and they do this. They jump. No, this is wrong. So as in the previous bar, now it's opposite. So the first finger, it's pretty close and you push. It's about pushing. Right? That will be the right movement. So do that also a couple of times and you're gonna do fine. Now let's see another shifting that can be tricky. Let's say now in the third line, second bar. So we have this. Right? It's just as is the beginning. So, no pinkies there. Pinky should be close. In order to. So pay attention for the whole exercise. So bar per bar, you're gonna try to analyze where are the shiftings, what kind of shiftings, and most important thing is everything is in position, everything is prepared in advance, so in order to make an accurate shifting, right? Now we're gonna go to the right hand. So in the right hand there are also like 2-3 points I wanna mention to you. So how to make this exercise sound nice, beautiful, deep and a round sound. Well, for those that are following me for a while, you guys know what I'm gonna talk right now. For those that are new here, well, welcome to bow distribution or bow management or whatever you want to call it. So what is bow management? Bow management is that you have a control of your bow. Like for the amount of notes, for instance, we have 6 notes here in the bow, right? So what happens often? Pay attention. I'm gonna play now without any control of bow distribution, and then the other version I'm gonna play with a good control. So there we go. Pay attention. So see what happened? I'm not even going to go further because it will just damage your ears. The sound is just horrible. So that was a lack of discipline in the bow distribution. Now I'm going to play a version with a good bow distribution. So check it out. See? So I had a good control and the sound was much more flowing, it was more natural and was more round. So a good way to practice this for the bow distribution is do this in parts. So we see we have 6 notes in one bow, right? Let's do it that way. So we count with open strings first of all. So 1, 2, 3, and make sure you don't even reach the middle of the bow. Why is that? Because I like, to give more space for the rest of the other 3 notes. So 1, 2, 3. Because then you're gonna speak these other 3 notes. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Then we go backwards. So 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now let's try with the notes. 1, 2, 3, stop. Stop. Right? If you're feeling that you're getting better, why not to try now the whole line? Nothing changes here. So see how the sound is getting round, and it's the sound that actually you wish to hear when you're playing. So this is important. Do that part per part. So you divide the bow, right, in parts, and then if you feel comfortable, you play through. So that was about bow distribution. It applies not only in this exercise, it applies in general in the cello repertoire. So anything that you're playing, always pay attention to bow distribution, because bow distribution is crucial, is essential. Without bow distribution, your sound is going to sound terrible. And that we don't want, right? You want to hear a good, beautiful sound. So bow distribution is most important, if not the most important thing of the right hand in cello playing, right? So pay really attention to that. Yes, of course, if it's too fast for you, if 6 notes and the tempo that I was playing is too fast for you, it's no problem to do it slower. You can do 3 notes per bow, absolutely no problem. Feuillard, in this case, he gave us total liberty, so that we play first slowly, and then bit by bit, when we have control of things, we can speed up a little bit. So you can really do that, so no problem. And even I suggest to you, it's good to do very slowly in order to pay attention and you're controlling everything. Then afterwards, when you're feeling more natural in it, then you can go faster without thinking about things. But I really recommend do it slowly. If not, you can do even note per note. So 1 note per bow. Like that, but it doesn't matter how slow you go, always try to find that sound already. So that sound that I was playing, that I was showing you. So do it slowly, go faster when you feel comfortable, faster, 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 until you come to this tempo. Right? So this is important. Another point is, in order to make a free sound, well, guess what it is? It's posture. Posture, what does it mean, posture? Is it this, to sit like that? Check it out how it will sound if I will sit like that. So it sounds blocked. You know why it sounds blocked? Because you're blocked in here and it blocks everything. The whole mechanism gets blocked. So it's important that you sit straight and free. This is the most important, because if you are feeling free, your sound gets free as well. So let's try with open strings. Let's count until 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So see, my head, it's quite up. Shoulders are relaxed. Right, so you hear the sound that is really going around. You're singing, you're lyrical, it's because you're free. It's not only to produce a good sound, but it's also, you know, in a long term, if you're sitting like that, you know, for hours per day and days, weeks, months, years, this is gonna start to feel, you know, very uncomfortable. You know, you're gonna start really feeling some painful things in your shoulders or in your back. So it's really important to sit straight, right? And better, you know, not to lay back on your chair, not like that. So don't play. No, sit more on the tip or top, I don't know, but anyway, sit more in front of your chair. So don't lay back, always with a straight back. This is important. Posture is gonna help your first sound, but not only for that, also for your back and your shoulders in a longer term, right? Now the last thing that we have to pay attention here, I mean, it just happens just a couple of bars near the ending. So we are at line number 4, measure number 4. We have here some string crossing going on. So this one. So see, we have this. So what do I see often? When I see people playing string crossing, happens like this. Check out my arm. So they play with the whole arm. No, this is wrong. You're never gonna be able to find a good sound with that. So what is important here? Take the bow and try it. First of all, feel control of your index finger and your pinky. You can even lift up the middle finger and the ring finger and just do that for a couple of seconds. Like that. See, that's in order, you know, to feel control. Right? Then afterwards, you can try to draw with your wrist, like a letter O or a 0. You can do oppositely as well. So see, my fingers are helping. My fingers are not stiff, it's not like that, it's both. That's the mechanism. So when it's about string crossing, it's not about the thing about the arm, it's mostly the wrist and the fingers. Right, so now let's try to apply this. Do that a couple of times, you can do on open strings. So it's like you're drawing some waves, see? It's like that. So very flexible, this is the most important. So no blocking, no any blocking feedback, because this is wrong. No, be total free. And really go into the string. Don't be shy, be generous. What you can do also is just to play double chords, so and then bit by bit. Because the thing is, you need to stay close to both the strings, not too far from each string, because if you go too far, it's gonna be like this. No, so that's why I like to do this. And then bit by bit, you separate. So really go into the string. And one more thing here about string crossing, it's easy to get irregular in tempo. So it can happen that you play this. Now stay pum 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 bum, bum. It's not really easy, this. So this is gonna take a little bit of time, but then you're gonna feel better. Right? So actually, that was it about this exercise, and well, I hope it was useful for you, and I hope it's gonna help you to improve your playing for this exercise, so the tips and the points that I was giving to you. Anyways, so next time we're gonna see each other with number 20, study number 20, and well, with arriving at number 20, we covered 1/3 of the book, because there are 60 exercises, and well, we're at number 20, so that's quite some. So I hope until now, if you have watched my other videos, I hope that you're improving already a little bit step by step. I got already some comments from you guys on WhatsApp, Instagram and so on, that you guys are feeling already an improvement. So I'm really happy that I can somehow contribute to your improvement. So I'm always happy to serve the others. Alright, so with that, I want to thank you so much for watching today. I hope you found it useful. It's gonna be helpful for your improvement. And we'll see us in a couple of days then with number 20. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. And this Sunday, again, a little reminder for you guys, 2nd of May, 12 o'clock Brazilian time or 5 o'clock Belgian time, 4 o'clock in the afternoon British time, 10 o'clock in the morning New York time. My Bach prelude from Cello Suite number 5 is gonna be on air on YouTube, so you don't want to miss it. It's a wonderful recording. It was recorded in a wonderful location, great and professionally made, and of course, let's not talk about the music. The music is just wow. So anyways, I hope to see you there on Sunday, so 2nd of May, which is my birthday. And well, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Have a great practice all. See you. Bye.